Okay, so I have these pages around the art room with the supplies, and this is the color pencil technique. And one of the things you're probably going to focus on is perhaps varying pressure and hatching or cross hatching in order to get your different values for your value chart. So I'm working with the color orange, so I'm going to start with my true color. Before you get your supplies, you really want to double check your colors to see if they're accurate. The blacks get very tricky. Navy blue, eggplant, those colors kind of look black, and then when you mix them in with your color, you're going to be sad if they were not truly a black. The only way you can tell is to read the name right on the handle. We always sharpen the opposite end from the label so that you're able to always read the name tag. Also, when you get your color pencils, you're going to get one of these pencils. This is a blender pencil. It is blender pencil. It's colorless. And you want to use this because it actually blends the colors. Kind of works it like paint would. So here's my value chart, and I'm going to work at making the shade darker. So I could make it by, again, pressing harder and filling in the box more solid. And I get a darker. And as I talked about in the other, you could do cross hatching. So you fill it in right and left and up and down. And then I could go even darker, so I'm going right and left, pressing hard, up and down. And this time I'm going to fill it in diagonal. This fills in every single white space, so it is the most intense the color can be. It is pure color in that rectangle. Okay? And we want to try and fill these in nicely, show some good craftsmanship. We're looking to level up to a level 4. So here's my true color. I'm going to go lighter. Press later, and this time I might only go across. Got to make sure your surface is clean so you don't end up with this texture rubbing in your project. Okay, and I'm going to go even lighter. Could have gone up and down, diagonal, but one direction is really going to help you get your different values. So here's my 3 values just by using pressure. This time I'm going to get my different values by adding and blending. You could use a neutral color to make it darker, like a brown, or you could go with black to make it darker. I'm gonna go with black to make my shades. Okay, so here is my true color. Here I'm gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna go across and up and down with my orange, but this time I'm gonna do the diagonal with the black. And I'm using a moderate pressure. Not too hard, not too lightly. So here's my black, and I'm going to diagonal. Same amount of pressure, I'm going to add in the black. And you got to keep it consistent. Kind of even pressure, so it's not striped. You want the whole box to come in your first shade. So this one now I'm going to go across to fill it in, and I'm going to go up and down and diagonal this time for making it darker. So I'm going to go up and down. And I'm going to go diagonal because up and down it's still pretty similar in color to the other box next to it. But notice going the diagonal, I've now cross-hatched it the other direction. I'm adding more color layer. Now, one thing you could do to go another level, so you get rid of those stripes, blend it. See how different it's looking? I'm only going to do half the box in the blender. And I'm going to write myself a note. This part was blender. Because I want to think about that later. Maybe I like it, maybe I don't. I'm going to go straight across into my true color as well, because it does change it. So I'm going to go back to my tint now. I'm going to go across. And like I did with shade, I'm going to go up and down a little bit. I am going to add white to this time though. The paper is white, so the white isn't super powerful. Keep that in mind also, because you are showing through. Now, for the last one, I'm actually going to start with white, because what it's going to do is it's going to block some of the color from being able to be absorbed or laid on the paper. And so that will help keep my white, my lightest color, my tint, nice and light. Okay, so I'm going across the page, up and down. And you see, I'm actually having a difficult time to get it to fill because I've already coated this box with the white. And there's kind of like a waxy substance to the color pencils, so it kind of blocks it from taking it in. I am going to continue with my blender pencil across and across. It does change it a little bit. Okay, so I've done a blender straight across, and I wrote myself a note so that I can keep that in mind. I used color pencil for this page. Don't forget to write your name and your room number on the top.